Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, David M. coming back at you with another video. All I can say is buckle up for this one. This is going to be probably 3 times longer than my usual 5-minute videos. I usually don't do VRs, but when my good buddy Clint, Swingaway Sports Cards, asks for one, by God, I make it happen. And especially when it involves fantasy baseball. It's just about my favorite thing. I was in 7 leagues last year. I'm already in or committed to 7 leagues this year, I should say. Might do more, who knows? But 3 of those leagues I'm in with Clint, and it's just so much fun every year to, really, when we started doing fantasy leagues several years back with just the YouTube community, that was really, man, that was it for me, man. That really, to me, is what the YouTube thing has been all about, is getting to know these people, become friends with these group of guys, and do these kind of leagues together. It's just so much fun. But anyway, I'll stop rambling about that. But everyone that watches this knows Clint. Clint's my boy. One of the very first people I ever really started interacting with. Can't say enough about him, man. Anyway, he had some very specific questions he wanted us to answer, so I will do that. But he also wanted us to kind of just free flow talk about fantasy, kind of some stuff that we think for the year. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to try to show like a lot of first chromes and kind of go through like the ADP and the average draft position. And, first chromes for first rounders, I guess. I'm not going to have every single player, but we'll get close. So let me start going pretty quick so that this isn't a 20-minute video. His first big question, of course, we got Ronald Acuna here. So if you know anything about fantasy from last year, Acuna was one of the greatest fantasy seasons of all time. I mean, certainly one of the best just baseball seasons of all time for sure, but in fantasy, it was just next level. So barring any sort of injury risk, he's clearly the #1 pick. But there was an injury risk. There was an injury scare, I should say. And by the time you're seeing this video, I don't think that scare is going to be there anymore. But Clint's question is Acuna still the #1 pick? And I think absolutely. Not a question, not a doubt. He does everything you want in fantasy and in real life. But anyway, and just the cards I'm showing here. This is just, obviously his base rookie. And then here's his chrome rookie right here. And then, sorry for the lighting. And then here's his first Bowman Chrome for the #1 pick. Now, next up, I'm going to show, and these are kind of not necessarily in true ADP order, but close enough. Bobby Witt Jr. is his first Chrome. He had a monster year last year. He will very much be the first shortstop taken, I should say. And as long as he can follow everything up, he's also phenomenal with the power and the speed combination. He's exactly what you want. Now, right there with him, pick 2, 3, flip a coin. Julio. I don't have Julio's first Chrome. Man, some of my sleeves are in rough shape. But anyway, just pulled this one. I didn't pull his base ones out, but it is still a beautiful card. Julio, again, had a rough first half of the year last year, but such a dominating last couple months of the season that for fantasy purposes, he was still just an incredible stud. And if he can put together a full season, watch out. He could rival Mr. Acuna. Now, a very popular choice for, even to sneak into the top 3, Mookie Betts. Here is his first Bowman Chrome. Now, Mookie has second base eligibility because he mostly played second base last year, and outfield eligibility. He's hitting at the top of a Dodgers lineup that is the best lineup. I mean, it might as well be Murderer's Row with Shohei and Freddie Freeman. Those guys batting right behind him. He's going to score 1,000,000 runs. Not to mention like Teoscar Hernandez is there. You got Will Smith, Max Muncy. You got all these dudes that can drive in runs. And he's going to, he like I say, he'll score 150 runs. Next up, another huge power speed combo, Corbin Carroll. Love Corbin Carroll. Here's his first chrome. Now, definitely this is kind of a risky pick. And I actually have him in multiple leagues as a keeper from last year. Now, he had a tremendous year last year with the power, speed, average, all that good stuff. But he has had some shoulder issues. Very scary, kind of similar to Fernando Tatis a couple years back. He doesn't take ringworm medicine, though, so hopefully we won't be dealing with a suspension. But, you know, the fear is he's any swing away from being out for a whole season. But hopefully not. And if he can maintain what he did, here's just a few more Corbin Carrolls there. There's the Chrome rookie. My favorite's the Spotlights. All right, so this is Corbin Carroll. Moving on, we've got Mr. Kyle Tucker. His first Chrome. It's funny. For such a stud player and fan, you can pick these cards up for just a few dollars. I mean, he's very, very undervalued in the hobby, probably because he's an Astro. But, you know, he's always kind of batted, you know, kind of mid to bottom of the lineup under Dusty Baker. Well, now he's probably going to get a shot to hit way higher. And he could put up some big numbers, no doubt about it. So I probably won't be drafting him anywhere, but we'll see. Next up, I mentioned him a minute ago, Fernando Tatis. It's his first Bowman Crow. This one's a 10. I remember buying this a few years back. This is one of my kind of regret cards. At one point, you could have sold this thing for north of $1,000, and now you can pick it up for nothing. But anyway, he still has all the talent and all the potential to be every bit as good as Acuna. I don't think he will be, but phenomenal player. He is on a much weaker team, but again, you've still got average and power and speed. This is a 2018 Bowman Chrome that's numbered at 99 there. Remember about that card years ago, I think for $6. There's his living set rookie. I like Tatis. I got a ton of Tatis. I only pulled out a few, but there's this Chrome rookie there. I'm going to have to show these kind of quick, or I will never get to this video. There's his base. Now, next up, not a ton in the speed department, but if he stays healthy again, major injury risk, Aaron Judge. This is his Topps Chrome rookie. I don't have his first Chrome, but from 2013. I need to get it. I've been after it for a while. Just haven't found the right deal yet. But anyway, just a couple years ago, he was the absolute stud in fantasy when he actually was healthy all year. But he's already come out and said that his toe is going to be an issue for the rest of his career. So who knows? But what I do know is he's going to be batting third in the lineup now, and he's wanted to bat third for years because Juan Soto is going to be hitting in front of him. Now, of course, DJ LeMahieu is going to lead off, so who knows what will happen there. But Juan Soto will be on base unless he hits a homer for Aaron Judge every time. Could have a monster year. And he's one of my favorite players. I'll show a few more here. God, I love those Bowman's Bests. All right, actually, that was the only one I'll show. I thought I pulled more, but maybe I didn't. I don't have time to dig through. Next up, now I am skipping Freddie Freeman because I don't have a Freddie Freeman rookie card. I need to correct that. But next up, I just talked about him, Juan Soto. And I don't have his first Chrome, but I've got rookie cards of his. I only pulled this one to show. He is going to have an unbelievable year playing in New York. Again, runs an RBI, an average, of course, an OBP. Just, he's going to be incredible. And it's a contract year. He's playing for big money. All right, everybody knows the next guy, the GOAT, Shohei Ohtani, now with the Dodgers. He is having a monster spring. Obviously, he won't be pitching this year because of the surgery, but that's okay. He is going to mash. There he is again in that short print that I love so much. He's going to absolutely be incredible. And then, you know, next year, he should be pitching again. But he did just get married, so we'll see what that does to his game. Next up, someone that many people think could be on the decline, I think he's going to have a big year, and that's Trey Turner. Still one of the most undervalued guys in the hobby for as excellent as he is. Cool story if you don't know about what happened with him last year, his first year in Philly. Had a rough year, and then going into the last couple of months of the season, the fans gave him a standing O after a particularly bad outing, and he responded by just being a monster for the rest of the year. But this one here, I never miss an opportunity to show that Bowman Inception rookie auto of his that I won years back for like $4 or something. And then again, Bowman's best. All right. Next up, another masher, Yordan Alvarez. There's his chrome rookie in a 10. Just again, if he can stay healthy, if those knees hold out, gonna put up insane numbers. Let's see what else I got here. Oh, it's that Stadium Club image that's so cool. Okay. Next question Clint wanted asked or answered. Which first baseman you taking first? Big Meat Pete, who is also in a contract year, who's going to hit every bit of 45 home runs. If he's healthy, he'll hit 55 home runs. Albeit the average may not be great, but you know what? I think last year he had some bad luck with his average. So anyway, do you want him or do you want Vladdy, whose number shall remain numberless? Do you want Vladdy on the bounce back? That was the question he wanted answered. There's his chrome rookie. So for me, I am going with Big Meat Pete. Vladdy, I like. I've had him before in fantasy, and he did awesome. But you know when he did awesome? It was the year that he played in minor league stadiums for half the year. When he shows me that he can mash as well as Pete and not in minor league stadiums for half a year, I'll be all over it. But until then, give me Pete Alonso. And in my main primary home keeper league, I'm keeping him. I have him. So next up, Bryce Harper, who it was fully healthy this year, is embracing first base at Philly, gonna have a monster year. I would consider taking him over Pete. Certainly would take him over Vladdy. Speaking of Vladdy, his teammate, Bo Bichette. What's Bo gonna do this year? He had kind of a very disappointing year last year. The speed almost vanished. He got caught stealing a ton. Will he run as much? I don't know. Still hits for great average, but again, with the power, and there's shout out to Ken's cardboard with this one. He could have a nice little bounce back. We'll see. And when I say bounce back, you got to understand, these are great players. I'm talking about specifically for fantasy and then early round values. Are they worth it, right? Obviously, these are all great players. Now, you want me to tell you my shortstop? If I can't get Bobby Witt, Corey Seager. There's his first chrome there. Shout out to Tony, Psyched on Baseball Cards, who sent me this years ago. Corey Seager, again, injury risk. If he can stay healthy, man, what a year he can have. Now, we're going to move on to some bounce back stuff for just a minute. And, you know, I know why Clint wants us to answer this. It's because Clint wants to know my strategy so that he can copy it and beat me to it. I know what you're doing, bud. I know what you're doing. I thought about pulling out a whole bunch of base commons of just random dudes and telling you that was my strategy, but I'm not going to do that. One of the questions, Mike Trout. What kind of a year is he going to have now? He doesn't have any help around him, but will he return to form, to prime Mike Trout? I don't know. He's not going to run as much, if at all. I still think he's got a big year left in him. And again, I'm talking for fantasy. I think he's got a big year left in him, and this might be the year, albeit every home run he hit may be a solo home run. We'll see. Now, let's see. Let's move on. You know what? I'm going to skip ahead here for a second, bear with me. Because another question he wanted answered was, which Cruz do you prefer? O'Neal Cruz, here in this really awesome short print, who I really like. Love me some O'Neal Cruz. Everyone thought he'd have a big year last year, and he looked like he was going to until he got snapped his leg in half in the first 2 weeks of the season. So O'Neal Cruz on a big bounce back, or Elly De La Cruz. Oh boy, ex-lookout. This is first chrome mojo, and then the spotlight cards, and another first. All right, so which one you taking? Who do you think is going to have the big year? They both are risky, right? Both of them have massive strikeout rates, but they both are they have the most powerful swings in baseball, and they're both lightning fast. They're both like 6'7", insane sprint speed, great shortstops. Who am I going with? Although I like them both, got to go with my boy, the lookout, Elly De La Cruz. So that answers that question. Speaking of lookouts, also curious to see what they do this year. Matt the Bat McClain, he's got oblique issues, but he's about to return. At the time you see this video, he might already be back. Noelvi Marte could have a big year at third for them. And then, of course, CES. A couple of these autos there from CES. And then here's his first Sapphire. And if he gets enough playing time, which that's the thing with the Reds, who knows, could have a big year. Now, let's go to the Japanese contingent here. Yoshinobu Yamamoto might be the best pitcher in baseball this year. We will see how he does over here in America. And you know what? No disrespect to my boy, I just showed you Shota Imanaga on this one. The other one was Yamamoto. Shota Imanaga, how's he going to do with the Cubbies? He's going to do great, I think. Lots of strikeout potential there. He does give up home runs quite a bit, so that could be alarming. But very excited that he's playing for Chicago. I'll be drafting him anywhere I can. Speaking of Chicago, I think my boy Seiya Suzuki's going to have a really nice year. He had a great couple of months to finish the year last year, and I think he's going to have a big one this year. Watch out for Seiya Suzuki, especially in these fantasy drafts. Watch out late. All right, now, who else do I have? Oh, I got a few more things to show. Speaking of Cubs, they finally re-signed him. I don't know what kind of, hemp house they hooked him up with, get him to stay. But I'm sure Boris worked that into his contract. I will not be drafting Cody Bellinger this year in fantasy. Ex-Cub, my boy Schwarbs, Kyle Schwarber. Wanted to show this card. So if you're in fantasy, you know, right? In a batting average league, he kills you. But in an OBP league, OPS league, much better. Tons of pop, even though he may hit below the Mendoza line like he did last year. All right, do not tell Clint. I think Eloy could, if he can stay healthy, and God please, just DH him, White Sox, could have a nice year. There's this gold rookie. There's that autograph I pulled years back. Chrome rookie. Chrome again. Complete set rookie. Okay. That's one of my sleepers. He's one I want to add. Now, another sleeper, which I've mentioned before, Jarren Duran, going to bat leadoff for the Sox. He's already gotten hurt once. We'll see what happens. But if he stays healthy, could be a decent amount of speed and pop. There's other Sox that could do good too. Trevor Story on a bounce back. Zach Geloff for the A's could have a very nice year. Sneaky late pick. Volpe, we'll see what he does this year. He went 2020 last year, albeit with a horrible average. But if he can get that average up in that lineup, you never know. In categories leagues, Estieri Ruiz only steals bases. It's all he does. But in a categories league, head-to-head, that can pay off, because had he not gotten hurt last year, I truly believe he'd have beat Acuna. Jackson Churio, big-time prospect, signed a huge contract already with the Crew, probably going to be up on opening day and could do big things. All right, let's look at a few pitchers real fast to close it out. Late sleeper, Kodai Senga. Why do I say late sleeper? Because he's hurt. He's going to miss the first month or two. Still got some great stuff. His ghost fork was as advertised. It was I want to say the #1 pitch in baseball last year for swinging strike rate. A lot of debate over George Kirby, right? So how good is he actually going to be? He's going really high in drafts. I'm out on George Kirby, but that's just me. Garrett Cole, of course. So I bring this out to show, like, and I didn't pull any of my Strider rookies, but where do you want to draft pitchers? How early do you want to go? Cole and Strider are obvious first rounders, but do you really want to spend a first round pick on a pitcher? And then finally, closer Hader, back with the Astros, which is why I'm showing this first chrome auto, because he's back with the Astros. He's a beast. Their bullpen is going to be stout. Okay, I think I've answered every question. I hope I've answered every question. I'm 22 minutes into it almost at this point, so I'm going to stop here. This is my longest video every year by a country mile. Go check out Clint, Swing Away Sports Cards. Hop into a fantasy league. It is so much fun. You will not regret it. And with that, everyone take care. I'll catch you next time.